Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And some of you probably thought about starting your very own sports podcast. Well, let me help you out. I want to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Now, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's an easy way to make a podcast, and it's free. You don't have to worry about paying a bunch of money each month. There are creation tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So it can be heard on apps like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go to anchorfm.com and start your very own podcast today. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? Forgot to click the button. It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And this is the State of the Saints podcast. And on this edition, we're going to be talking about Alvin Kamara's extension. That's right. We're going to be talking about Alvin Kamara because this is a hot topic right now. And a lot of us didn't believe we were going to be having this conversation about Alvin Kamara, but here we are. Alvin Kamara has missed 3 days of Saints camp. And over the weekend, Sean Payton said that it was the stomach flu, right? But he has missed 3 days of camp. And now, according to Adam Schefter, he is reporting that Alvin Kamara is missing camp due to a holdout. Alvin Kamara wants his Skrilla. And you got a lot of people in the Who Dat Nation that are in an uproar. You got some people that understand. Then you got other people out there that say that Alvin Kamara is selfish. Oh, I can't believe the audacity of this guy. Sean Payton made him. Sean Payton is the David Ruffin of Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is the Otis Williams to Sean Payton's David Ruffin. And a lot of people feel like Alvin Kamara would not be who he is without Sean Payton. So what is going on with this contract? Will he have a contract by week 1? Will we see Alvin Kamara on the field when the Saints take on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Before I answer that question, I want to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat, all right? I want to shout out the chat right now. Thank you all very much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. And also thank you to all of those that checked out the interview that I did with NFL Network reporter Steve Weiss. That was a really good interview right there, man. Shouts out to Steve for coming through, giving us that information that we need, man, dropping gems as well. And, man, I'm just appreciative of his time, man. I mean, this is a busy man right here. I mean, the fact that he worked for the NFL Network, I mean, this guy did maybe 3 or 4 different calls today. And I think he even did something for the NFL Network and made time to do an interview with me, man. I'm extremely humbled, and I thank him for that. So if you did not check out the interview, it is available to you on the State of the Saints podcast Facebook page, also on YouTube.com, and also on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast from. So, Trevi, what's going on with you? We got Josh in the building. Ray is back. Dirk, Jared Poole, Dave, Mike. Man, shouts out to all of you, man, for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and hear from you all because I ain't going to lie to you, man. I think I done talked enough. If you heard that first interview that I did before I actually did this show. So I'm going to see what you all have to say, and then I'll probably expound a little bit on Alvin Kamara a little bit later. So Trevi says, it ain't nothing to worry about. Well, Trevi, I hope you're right, my friend. Josh says, wish there was a no salary cap mode in real life. Well, if there was a no salary cap mode in real life, you will probably have Major League Baseball because Then you'll have teams that don't have as much money as other teams. You'll have them as a snake bit franchise. So I actually like the fact that the NFL does have a salary cap, because if they didn't, then you'll probably see the Cowboys or the Giants or the Eagles winning the Super Bowl every year. And I ain't trying to see that, folks. I ain't trying to see it. Ray says, thank God, TJ, man. I was getting bored waiting for a show. Man, I'm sorry about that, man. I was just trying to share the information, about the interview that I did with Steve. So I apologize for that. I know I said 7:55 Eastern Standard Time, 6:55, Central Time, but I had to make sure I did that. Jared Poor says, I'm back. Appreciate it, Jared. Thank you for stopping by once again. We got Dave says, what's up from Jersey, man? What's going on, Dave, man? All the way out there in New Jersey. So I appreciate it. Thank you for checking out the podcast. We got Mike in the building, says we back. Let's get it. Yeah, we're going to talk about Alvin Kamara, man. So I'm interested to see or to hear or to, anything that you have to offer, what y'all got to say about this whole Alvin Kamara situation. So Ray says, let him walk will be like walking a mile on hot cold. Absolutely. He was an incredibly talented running back. Anybody that believes that Alvin Kamara isn't as good as any other running back in the league, they delusional. And anybody that thinks that Alvin Kamara can be replaced, you're even more delusional. Ray says, what's 1619? 1619 is when the first slaves were brought to America, my friend. 1619. So when I wear this shirt, man, it's a tribute to the first slaves that came from Africa who hit American soil. So that's what 1619 is all about. Drew says, pay that man, bro. Sean Payton better pay him. Alvin Kamara deserves it. He's better than Christian. Don't let that injury confuse you. Well, I think that Chris McCaffrey, as of right now, for everything that he does, he's better than Alvin Kamara. So I'm not going to say that he is, because Alvin Kamara hasn't proved that he can do the things that Christian McCaffrey does. But I do believe that Alvin Kamara does need to get paid, because the man did everything he could possibly do in order for him to get his money. And it's amazing to me how Saints fans can fix their lips to say anything negative about Alvin Kamara after this man played an entire season with a torn MCL. No, the person that's selfish out there is you. You're selfish because you expect this man to go out here, play for peanuts, and risk injury and cause himself hardship for the future. And all you're going to say as a fan is, man, that dude could have been a beast. That dude could have been the truth. Like, what you going to do then if this man is just straight up damaged goods? He go out there and play for the $2.1 million that's being offered to him with no future of an extension in sight. You expect this man to go out there and perform at a high level for your amusement so you can go to work on Monday and talk about, man, you seen how Alvin Kamara ran the football? So you can hit up Atlanta Falcon fans and be like, man, see, my running back a beast. We beat y'all. All for selfish reasons. I have no problem with Alvin Kamara sitting out. And anybody that has an issue with Alvin Kamara sitting out, I would say, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't think anything's wrong with Alvin. And it's easy for us to, as fans, it is easy for us to look at it from the outside looking in. But if anybody makes you work for less than you feel like you're worth, you ain't coming to work. I don't want to hear about, man, I like my job. I like where I work. I'll do it. Man, knock it off. If the opportunity presents itself 9 times out of 10, you are going to want to be paid with your work. So what's the difference between you on your job and Alvin Kamara on his? The only difference is you got emotional investment in the Saints. You probably talk so much ish to other fans, and now you want the Saints to back it up, and you know there's the least likely chance they'll back it up if Alvin Kamara ain't in the lineup. Well, get your feelings out of the way. Get out of your feelings. Alvin Kamara deserves to get paid, and I'm glad the man's sitting at home, because it seems like to me that's the only way the Saints are going to move the dial. If that man sit at home, that's the only way he's going to get what he needs, which is that Skrilla. All right? So it is what it is. Eric says Kamara not coming to practice is a good thing. Means he doesn't want to get hurt right before he signs on the dotted line. Michael Thomas took a week off while he was getting his done. Kamara is top 5, and he's not 5. Well, I'll say I don't want to give him top 5 right now. I'll probably give him I'll give about top 7, definitely top 10. Okay. He's probably part of the top 7 running backs in the league. I'll give him that. Top 5, I don't know. I mean, he can earn that spot, but I don't think so. Not at this time. We need him badly. Yeah, I mean, he is an integral part of what the Saints do. I mean, the fact that they can throw the ball to him, he catches the ball out of the backfield, he runs wide receiver routes. He can get in and out his cuts like a slot receiver. Like, come on, man. Knock it off. Better than Christian McCaffrey. That remains to be seen. I'm not saying that he can't be. I'm not saying, that eventually he won't be. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Christian McCaffrey is better. Donald said this man played on one leg for a whole season last year. That should speak for itself. Pay that man. My point exactly. Anybody, like I said, anybody that can fix their lips to talk about Alvin Kamara and him sitting at home and holding out for a Skrilla is selfish in their own right. Because, come on, man. This guy isn't selfish. He proved last year that he wasn't selfish. So, it can't be about that. Anyone had Madden 21 on Xbox One, I want the smoke. So anybody out there that got Madden 21 on Xbox One, Ray said he wants the smoke. John T says Kamara about his Skrilla. That's what I'm talking about, man. Word of the night. For all those that don't know what Skrilla is, that means that money. Okay, so some of you probably heard of it, some of you have not. But when I say the word Skrilla, that means them greenbacks, that money, them chippers. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That dollar bill. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Or in the words of the Wayans brothers, some of them things. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about here. Man need his money. Tidra says, we got too many weapons for Kamara to be seen as better than CMC. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he can end up being better than Chris McCaffrey, but just Chris McCaffrey has the edge. And shouts out to myself. I'm actually commenting right now about my show. It says, hell yeah, if they don't get this finish, I don't know about his future with the Saints. Shouts out to me for coming through with the brilliance. No, I'm just kidding, man. That's my big brother, EJ, man. Like I said, he's one of the administrators on the State of the Saints podcast. So some of y'all probably think it's me sometimes that's comment is actually my older brother, EJ, who is also commenting on behalf of the State of the Saints podcast. I have not lost my mind. I am not talking to myself right here. That is indeed my big brother, EJ. Shouts out to him, man. Love you, man. Casual Deck says, going to lose my marbles. Casual, come on, man. Calm down, man. The season ain't even started yet. We still 13 days away from the NFL season. A lot can get done. A lot can get done. It's not like it's a 9-to-5 thing. This contract negotiation can be resolved at 11:30 at night. So it's gonna be all right, man. Calm down, Casual. It's cool, man. It's cool, man. Key says, pay that man. That's what I'm talking about in my Deion Sanders voice. Speaking of Deion Sanders, man, I heard that Deion Sanders, there's a possibility that he can end up being a head coach of the Jackson State Tigers. Man, I'm telling y'all, if Deion Sanders goes to my alma mater, Jackson State University, man, bruh, I need the Sonic Boom of the South to learn the song Must Be the Money. Shouts out to my boy Drum, my big brother EJ know what I'm talking about. That's an inside joke. Jerry Poor says, Skrilla. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's the word of the night. If you don't have nothing to say, you don't have anything to say about the Saints, just go ahead and put the word Skrilla inside of the chat. All right. That's the word of the night. The truth says, hey, TJ, what does the t-shirt mean 1619? Once again, it's when the first Africans came to America to be enslaved. So this happened in 1619. So this shirt is a commemoration, and me showing my respect to those African people who came over on slave ships to become slaves here in America. Okay, so that happened in 1619. So when you hear people talking about 400 years of oppression, or in this case, 401 years of oppression, this is when it started, 1619. All right. Ray laughing. Jerry giving a shout out to big brother EJ. King Arthur says a lot of players miss practice. Is it injury related? No, King Arthur. It has a lot to do with getting these guys rested. Demario Davis is a beast. How much more do you need to see? Malcolm Jenkins is a seasoned veteran. You want to make sure that you don't have him out there pushing him too hard. So there's nothing behind it. Those guys are going to be ready to rock and roll by week 1. All signs indicate that's going to happen. Key says, now people talking about going after Leonard Fournette. I talked about that earlier. Okay, so if you haven't checked out that episode of the State of the Saints podcast, I've been busy today. This is my 3rd show I've done. All right, so I have talked about Leonard Fournette. I don't want to go too in depth with that. If you want a real in-depth breakdown of my feelings, I encourage you to check out the State of the Saints podcast episode. Will the Saints sign Leonard Fournette? Okay, it's available for you. You can check it out. I really broke it down. Okay, so but I don't think it's a good idea, Key. And the episode about him will explain why. So if you haven't checked it out, the Truth Hurt said, this is embarrassing to admit, but I'll be farting silently at the Superdome, and I'll be blaming it on fat dudes when people notice. I'm always like, it was probably that fat dude with the hot dog. All right, the Truth Hurts, a.k.a. I'll be ripping them. Thank you very much for your comment, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. How much cap we got? We got about $10 million worth of cap, man. We got about $10 million. Unless like something else, unless they sign somebody else. I see Kent saying 6.9. That could be accurate as well. Last time I checked, they had 10 million. So maybe something happened, and Keith is probably, taking that into account. So yeah, it's probably about 6.9. But the last time I checked, it was 10 million. So might be one of those. Should the Saints stay with AK or go after Aaron Jones or someone like that? Man, why are we acting like Alvin Kamara not a beast? Why? Why we do this every single time? Why do we do this? Why do we question football players, man? Like, man, don't y'all understand? These guys get misused and abused. These guys are not getting paid what they work. These guys get broken down and barely even see the money in a contract. They get some of their money up front, and then when the top part of their contract is about that time for them to get it, teams cut them. Why are we pretending like this dude not a beast? Why are we looking at other alternatives? This dude is a beast. He deserves an extension. He deserves to be a New Orleans Saint. The dude is good. I don't like why are we nitpicking here? Well, he ain't the same since Mark Ingram left. Dude only had 1 year without Mark Ingram, and the guy still had 81 catches and a respectable 700 plus yards. Like, come on, man. He even had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. And this man had a torn MCL. Are we going to negate the first 2 years of this guy's career? You think a pat on the ass and a pat on the helmet going to help a guy run faster and run harder? Oh, because Mark Ingram. What is Mark Ingram? Is Mark Ingram his eyes? Is Mark Ingram, you know what I'm saying? Are they like, ghosts? They can walk into one another and one becomes the other? How in the world can Mark Ingram's presence be that big of a deal? Alvin Kamara is his own individual entity. I don't get it. He can't run between the tackles. He averaged 5 yards a carry his rookie season, 4.7 yards a carry his sophomore season, and he even averaged a respectable 4 yards last season. So what in the world are we talking about here? We did the same thing to Michael Thomas. Man, all he do is run short, intermediate routes. He ain't that good. He don't deserve $20 million. Look at that dude. 149 receptions, offensive player of the year. First time a wide receiver did that in 17 years. I need everybody out there to put some respect on Alvin Kamara's damn name. It is ridiculous that we having this conversation because the same people out here criticizing this man going to be the same folks. AK, 8K, 8K. Look at him. Look at him bouncing off the table. That boy beast. That boy beast. Man, knock it off, man. Now all of a sudden we talking about contract negotiations and we feel uncomfortable about that. Now we want nitpick. Well, he wasn't hitting the hole hard enough last season. Man was hurt. I was a part of that number until he told me that he was hurt. And I'm going to take his word for it because Alvin Kamara year 1 and year 2 was a beast. Year 3, he was good. Not up to beast standards, but he was good. And a torn MCL Alvin Kamara is probably better than half of the running backs in the league. So what in the hell are we talking about? Give me a break. Like I said, we do the same thing every year. Guys are beasts. Guys are good. Guys are beneficial to the team. And then all of a sudden, oh my goodness. Oh my Lord, it is contract time. Well, he ain't really that good anyway. But when he get on the field and he beasting out and your fantasy football team on Liddy, oh man, that dude, they're a beast. That boy, they're a beast. Pay that man. Boy, I promise you, man. Some of you Saints fans out there, y'all love football players from down to down. First down, you love them. Second down, you don't. Third down, you love them. Fourth down, get that bum up out of here. Alvin Kamara deserves to be a New Orleans Saint. Knock it off. Miss me with the nonsense. Leonard Fournette or anybody else that you want to bring into this organization will not give you the production that Alvin Kamara has given you. Do you not understand how beneficial this guy is? A guy who can run between the tackles, a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. You can line up in a slot and he catches the ball like a wide receiver. You are not going to find that everywhere. Well, Aaron Jones, man, knock it off. Cut it out. Seriously? Aaron Jones? Like Aaron Jones has been in the league about 3-4 years. We just learned about him last year. Now all of a sudden he's better than Alvin Kamara. Knock it off. Knock it off. And Michael Thomas cannot be guarded. Absolutely. Man cannot be guarded. But look, I promise you, man, some of y'all don't have the same energy about Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas, like y'all had last year when this man going through contract negotiations. Oh, yes. Trust and believe. I keep the receipts. So all y'all that's probably talking right now, trust and believe. I'm looking at some of y'all's same comments when y'all was questioning Michael Thomas last year. Man, he don't deserve his contract. Now all of a sudden, I'm looking at people not keeping that same energy, okay? He ain't going to be able to live up to $20 million. He ain't going to be able to live up to that money. He overhyped. He not even that good. He overrated. Wait a minute, 149 receptions. You call that overrated? Miss me with that. Like, we need to stop being, like, honestly, man, it comes a time where you want to be a true Saints fan, but sometimes you got to be a fan of these players too, man. And I understand that players change from year to year, but there comes a time when these players have to get paid. And we as fans have to understand that. Ain't nobody was saying nothing when Drew Brees needed to get signed, though, right? Ain't nobody saying nothing then. Well, that's Drew Brees. He a beast. But we ain't talk about the fact that we had to lose Jermaine Bushrod and Carl Nicks and all them other offensive linemen that, you know what I'm saying, because the Saints couldn't pay them. But we ain't say nothing then, huh? Because we love ourselves some Drew Brees. I love Drew Brees, but all I'm saying is keep the same energy. You can't pick and choose, okay? If Drew Brees out there beasting, and I understand he plays the quarterback position, Alvin Kamara is out there beasting at the running back position. So put some respect on that man's name and pay that man his money, okay? For the sake of tonight's word of the night, pay this guy his Skrilla, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Jonathan says, you're right, TJ. A lot of people have something to say about Alvin Kamara's playing up to the standards, but he is a beast. He's able to keep guys off of him and miss tackles while he was injured. He didn't have that ability to cut. Anybody ever had an MCL injury at all, you know that it's hard for you to cut, okay? Maybe if you was playing quarterback, you can get away with that because you don't have to be so elusive unless you're somebody like Lamar Jackson. It might kind of hinder you a little bit. But if you're Drew Brees, you can play like that. Ben Roethlisberger played the entire season with an MCL. Alvin Kamara, he's a running back. One of the things that keep him on the field is his ability to cut. And this man did not complain at all. You look at some of this guy's interviews, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would have had the strength or, you know what I'm saying, to be able to withstand some of the stuff that was being said about this dude. Like, I couldn't, you know? I couldn't. Knowing that I was hurt, no, I mean, I don't know, man. Alvin Kamara will be signed before the Bucs game. Relax. Right, Bobby. I agree with that, man. Shouts out to Bobby. The Truth said, yes, sir. Michael Thomas, 13, can't be guarded unless they double or triple team him. Absolutely. And like I said, earn every penny of his money. Earn every penny of his money. I pray Breeze reconstructs his contract. Marvin, I mean, honestly, I think this might be the last year for Drew Brees. This might be the last year because, I mean, the Saints going to have to really make a decision here, folks. They're going to really have to make a decision. Drew Brees, luckily, he got most of his money up front. So the second year is almost like a phantom year. That's one of the main reasons why I feel like he's going to retire. But when Drew Brees retires, you'll be able to pay some of these guys. You'll be able to pay them their money. So that's why it's important. And people have been putting emphasis on winning now, because this might be the last chance the Saints actually get this opportunity and this opportunity be put before them. So I think once Drew Brees leaves, which I think that he will, I think it'll make things much easier. I think the cap will be a little bit more relaxed. Leonard, to his credit, has never had coaching like Saints staff. Ernest, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're right. He did not have the same coaching staff as the New Orleans Saints, that the New Orleans Saints have. Doug Marrone did spend some time with the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. Good defensive-minded coach. I feel like he can do better in college because I just feel like he kind of a pushover. In college, he can kind of, change his way. And I mean, he did a really good job out there at Syracuse. But I just feel like the way that he coaches is not the type of coaching that men respond to. I think that, he's a college coach. I think that he'll be able to be a respectable college coach if he was to go back to the college ranks. But Leonard Fournette, I just don't understand why Saints fans just think that this is just a great idea. I mean, feel free to comment and let me know why you feel like Leonard Fournette would be a good idea for the New Orleans Saints. Other than the fact that he a beast and he went to LSU. Please tell me, okay? Look, for the sake of me actually talking about this earlier today, I'm going to give everybody else the opportunity for those out here that are going hard in the paint for Alvin Kamara. Please tell me, what do you see in not Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette, excuse me. What do you see in Leonard Fournette that you feel like he will just change the entire structure of the New Orleans Saints? He will rock the Saints to their very foundation. I mean, the world is going to start rocking. The moon is going to drip away with blood. The sun is going to refuse to shine. What is going to happen? Like, I would really want to know, what is Leonard Fournette going to do for the Saints, okay? Because some of y'all, I know I'm over-exaggerating with that, but some of y'all acting like this is about to happen if this guy gets signed. I mean, come on. Ely says Breeze shouldn't want to be learning a new running back at this point and time of his career. He gonna get signed, my friend. Eli, he gonna get signed, man. He's gonna get signed, man. I mean, I am 0% worried that Alvin Kamara is not gonna get a new contract. Like, I'm not worried at all. I know for a fact this guy gonna get paid. AK, a huge part of the offense. Saints ain't crazy. Pay the man. Absolutely. Marvin, I agree. If Breeze want a ring, in order to keep Kamara, he must take a cut. Well, I don't think he have to take a cut, Marvin, because Drew Brees got the majority of his money. He got the majority of the money. He got the $20+ million already, okay? Like I said, the next year is more of a phantom deal. I mean, he probably get about $4 or $5 million, in base salary. He already got his money. He got the Saints put it into a signing bonus. So he already got his Skrilla. Fans really don't understand the salary cap. Yep. But that comes from playing Madden on with the salary cap off. Okay. I mean, when you playing Madden with the salary cap off, I mean, it's like Disney World, right? And you're a 6-year-old kid. Okay. You didn't look at the ugly part about your parents having to get the money together in order to get them get this trip going to Disneyland. All you think about is your parents just stood there for 5 to 10 minutes. Your mama scratching her head. The dad is getting the money out of his wallet. The mama is getting the money. Oh, baby, did you get this coupon? You don't see that part right there. Only thing you see is, I think that's Goofy inside the fence, and you can't wait till them to get finished so you can run through the gate. That's what Madden with the salary cap off does to you. You don't see those ugly things that really go on in real life. You're too busy focusing on Goofy. Okay, so the world does not work like that. Okay, these guys have a salary cap. The team has to, they have to uphold the salary cap. You cannot go out here and get Leonard Fournette and have to pay Ryan Ramczyk, Marshawn Lattimore, and Alvin Kamara. Are you telling me you would get rid of Alvin Kamara, who has proven that he is one of the best weapons, not just running backs, but weapons in the National Football League, for a guy who fights on the sidelines, gives you about 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and then he'll limp off the field with his hamstring? Knock it off. And I, like I said, I like Leonard Fournette. I said it earlier. I like him. But we're not being realistic here. And what makes you even think that Leonard Fournette would love playing for the Saints? What made, because he went to St. Aug, because he from New Orleans, because he went to LSU. He a homeboy around the fans. So when he hear who that, it means something to him. Do you think a guy who is a high volume runner, who normally carries the ball about 20 to 25 times a game, 30, depends on the situation of the game, do you think he would be happy in a Saints offense where we're wearing shirts to say run the football? We're constantly putting emphasis on run the football. We're constantly telling Sean Payton to run the football. Sean Payton is getting mad at the meat man at Rouse's because he's telling him to run the football. We're mad at Sean Payton for not using Taysom Hill in a wild card game and telling him to run the football. But we think for some apparent reason that Leonard Fournette, a high-value runner, is going to be happy in the Saints offense. What world are you living in? Like I said, the parents are too busy paying the money on the side. You're not looking at that. You're just paying attention to Goofy. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Loomis is the greatest on working the salary cap. Yeah, he can make that magic, man. He can make that magic. He can make that Skrilla come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He's like, Skrilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So I have confidence in Mickey Loomis. All contracts. Yeah. Falcon fans, Bucs fans, and Panthers fans are saying kumbaya that AK is not showing up. I mean, you still got some weapons, man. Let's not pretend like the Saints can't still run the football and catch the ball out of backfield using Ty Montgomery now. Now, let's not act like they can't still run a potent offense. Like, I like Alvin Kamara, but they still be able to do some things, that maybe not some of the things that Alvin Kamara can do, but they still be able to do enough to win a football game. State of the Saints, awesome interview with Steve Weiss. Proud of you. Bring in Fournette on a trial basis and let everything filter his way out. Let's give him a chance with this guy. Who that? Dwayne, you my guy, man. You know I love you, man. OG of the State of the Saints podcast. But saying that Leonard Fournette coming on here on a trial basis, I mean, this is not AOL. You remember like when you used to go to the mailbox and you used to get that disc in the mail, and it used to be an AOL disc and it says free trial. Look, Leonard Fournette is not one of those guys that, that you just like, okay, man, we're going to kick the tires on him. I don't think so, man, because this guy is a guy that wants a contract, and he's not going to just sit up there and sign, or the Saints are not just going to bring him in just for him to be there for 1 year. I just don't see that happening. I think it's kind of different when it comes to Jameis Winston, because Jameis Winston, there's a possibility that he might end up still playing for the Saints in the future. With Alvin Kamara out there about to get paid, let's make no mistake about it, bringing in a young guy on a mercenary deal, like, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I don't see that happening, okay? And you might not be able to get that much out of him because he already know that you're not going to invest in him long term. So, and I know some of you probably saying, well, what about his integrity? Some guys got it. Some guys don't. Some guys take plays off. Some guys make business decisions. And if you are playing, only thing that's in your future is a $4.1 million and no money after that at the age of 24 years old, which means you got about 6 or 7 more years of production at the running back position, according to NFL standards. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't risk getting hurt. Why? I mean, not to play for my hometown team. I love the Saints, but I need that Skrilla. With Leonard Fournette, they wouldn't have to change the whole game plan, and it wouldn't be an upgrade. Well, I assume, Troy, you're saying it would change half of the whole game plan, and it wouldn't be an upgrade. Leonard Fournette will not be an upgrade from Alvin Kamara. I'm sorry, folks. He won't. If we was out here, if there was the Saints where Ricky Williams was there, then we'd probably have an argument. But the Saints, he's not the type of running back that would thrive in the Saints offense. He's more like a guy that should go somewhere like Seattle or Pittsburgh or Tampa. You know what I'm saying? I can see him playing for the Buccaneers. I really can. I really can't see Leonard Fournette playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I just don't feel like the Saints and what they do offensively fit his skill set. And this guy already has like emotional issues, folks. I mean, so imagine how it's going to feel, him sitting on the sideline third and fourth quarter. Latavius Murray kind of understand that, because, I mean, he's a team player. I don't get team player from Leonard Fournette. I think it's only a matter of time before he starts to really like get frustrated, and we find ourselves having conversations about Leonard on the State of the Saints podcast and asking a question, should he stay or should he go? Not a good decision, folks. Not a good decision. Saints fans, money doesn't grow on trees. Mickey Loomis, hold my beer. I mean, you can move some stuff around, but you're not going to be able to get long-term deals out of this. And like I said, man, guys want to be fully committed to, man. They not like, everybody ain't trying to be like Darrelle Revis or Ndamukong Suh. Guys ain't trying to do mercenary deals all the time. These guys want to get paid. These guys want to make sure that they're financially set for the next couple of years. In other news, Derwin James is out for the 2020 season. That sucks. Man, wow. That's a shocker right there. Derwin James, second season in a row, man. Second season in a row, the Chargers won't be with him. So, man, it's starting to reach that territory, man. It's almost like that Keanu Neal type stuff out there in Atlanta. A lot of talent, but like we always say here, the best ability is availability. You can sell the chip theory. What is the chip theory? I don't know what that is. Oh, the chip theory. You talking about the championship, man. You could, but dudes want to get paid. Like, it's about winning Super Bowls and stuff like that. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I guess this guy feels like he's young, man. He got plenty of time. If he signs like a 3-year deal, he's on the market at the age of like 27, 28 years old. So he can still go out there and perform at a high level and go to a team and maybe capture a championship after he got a big 3-year deal. So I don't know if you can dangle that carrot of prosperity in his face. The Saints going to make Tampa sweat it out and sign him the day before the game. Might do that. Who knows, man? The Saints might have told him to go home. And I know a lot of people are giving him flack because, they're like, well, he said that he ain't worried about contracts and he's not worried about, what the negotiations are. He just here to do a job. Man, you have to understand, man, these guys talk to their agents, and these agents are the ones that's kind of directing these guys, to go certain ways, and these guys do these things to try to help the transition activity happen smoothly, so. I mean, it's the same thing with Mark Ingram, right? Mark Ingram didn't answer the phone calls of Sean Payton. That's how we end up getting Latavius Murray. It was because his agent told him not to answer the phone. So I'm pretty sure Alvin Kamara's agent, those at Clutch Sports, are telling him, well, we're trying to get this negotiation done, so we need you to go and sit down. We don't want you to go out here, y'all playing with, pads and, y'all got the pads on, somebody out there trying to make a play, trying to make the team and tackle you too hard, or you end up like twisting your ankle coming down off a catch or something. Then the next thing you know, they got the leverage. So he probably was directed to stay home. So that's just the way negotiations go. Josh, thank you very much for the $2, man. It says, miss me. Yeah, man, of course, man. We haven't heard from you in a while, and glad that you're here, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $2. Robert says, why is it every time a team releases a player, everyone jumps on the wagon and blows up the feed about signing these players? Your guess is as good as mine, Robert. I really wish I can tell you, but it just seems like to me, boy, we a sucker for a free agent, for real. Like, man, we a sucker for a free agent. We don't even need the guy. Like, the guy at the position is probably better than the guy we're looking at, but we need them. Like, let's not go out here and stay with the person that's probably on a rookie deal that's going to save us some money. Let's go out here and get a guy that's going to be on our books and going to be worth more than a rookie that's giving me production. And, like, come on. Like, that makes absolutely no sense, man. None whatsoever. I'm sorry, folks. Usually I'm like, okay, but it don't make no sense. It don't. You do not go out here and try to get somebody when you have somebody that's giving you the production that you need. But in your defense, TJ, it does beg to wonder why the Jags couldn't get a fifth rounder for Fournette, a first rounder, probably serious personality issues. It is, man. I mean, it says a lot about a guy. I mean, when teams try to shop you around and nobody answer the phone, nobody want to give you a trade deal. I mean, come on. Man, I don't think I have to say it. I think it's already been said. Thanks for the 3 podcasts today, bro. Speaking of which, when is the Dalvin interview, and do we have a fullback? Mike Burton right now is the fullback, I think, right now. And as far as the Dalvin Bro interview, I don't know, man. Like I said, everything that Dalvin has been going through, I don't feel right having him on the show, like in that type of, situation. Like I don't want to have, I don't do interviews for press clippings or trying to get my interview featured on ESPN or something. Like, I want to have conversations, and I feel like I don't want to be like on some old Gayle King type stuff, like you sitting down or Jada Pinkett Smith at the red table. Like, I just want to give you guys like good content, and I just don't feel comfortable, man. Like when this guy gets everything together and everything starts to work out for him and stuff like that, and it is going in a positive direction, then I can have him back. Because I don't want to just have him talking on the show and just talking about those things. I would like to see the overall big picture, like when everything gets resolved, then we can have him on the show. Then we can talk about some of the things that he went through, but we can have ourselves an overcoming story. You know what I'm saying? Like a story where, you overcame this particular situation, and he's working towards that. So I thought that it would be best for me not to, have him on the show right now. I mean, I don't feel like that's right, man. That's not what I'm all about. I'm about giving you all content, but not at the expense of the other person. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do that. I can't. NFL news. T.O. is coming out of retirement, Saints fans. We need to say. Right. Somebody put that in there, man. You see how T.O. was looking, man. He was racing Tyreek Hill. My goodness. I love you, Saints fans. The Saints fans want the Saints to be the 2017 Warriors next season. We won a Super Bowl. Yeah, you wanted to be the 2017 Warriors, and ain't nothing wrong with that, but there's a such thing as a salary cap, and there's a such thing as chemistry, and there's a such thing as pride, okay? Nobody ain't like, come on, man. Like, some of y'all just think that guys are going to just want to sign with the New Orleans Saints because they're the Saints. Be like, whoa, wait a minute, the Saints? What? I can sign with the, like, come on, man. Like, yeah, some of us walk around like it's an honor and a privilege. Like, these guys just automatically going to stop thinking about money and financial security because the Saints came to their door. Like, knock it off. Like, come on, give me a break. Like, these guys want to get paid, man. Like, do y'all understand that these guys are going to tell you the things that you want to hear? They don't want to put out bulletin board material. They don't want to be the you know what I'm saying, the top story on ESPN or NFL Network. So they're going to toe the line. So they're going to say all the right things. But in the back of their mind, these guys want to get paid. These guys want, that's right, folks, that's Skrilla. Don't get it twisted, okay? As much as they tell you, man, I want to be a Saint for life. I love the New Orleans Saints. Man, you know, like whatever. Don't get these guys their money. Don't get these guys their money and see what happens. And y'all see how much love they have for the team. Can you try to get Reggie Bush on the show? I'll give it a shot, you know. I'll give it a shot, but I can't guarantee that. Reggie Bush is a busy man. So I'll try my best, but I can't promise that. I like T.O., but let him stay where he is. He's too old, to say the least. Josh says, I be playing too much Madden, man. I'm a cat wizard on the game. I feel you, though, Josh, man. Much love to you, man. But I don't know. I just feel like I just never really been a big fan of free agents. And I was joking with someone, man, his name escaped me. I want to say Chris. He was telling me how I never want the Saints to sign free agents because it doesn't make sense financially. Like, I have never seen a team in the NFL win a Super Bowl with an all-star team. Like, I've just never seen that. Like, let me rephrase that, because some people are going to be on some historical stuff, and they're probably going to bring up somebody like the Steelers of the 70s. But back in the 70s, they didn't have a salary cap. The Rooney family had more money than all those other families, you know, that own NFL teams. So they were able to keep all those great players, you know, on the Steelers team, okay? They was able to keep the Mean Joe Greens and the Terry Bradshaws and the Frank O'Haras and the Lynn Swines and the Stalwarts and whatnot. They was able to keep that because they had that Skrilla. So, but in modern history, I never seen an all-star team win nothing, okay? I just feel like teams win by bringing in guys that are on a cusp that can help their team, and also building through the draft. If you look at the New Orleans Saints team, come on, man. Look at these New Orleans Saints players. Alvin Kamara, the Saints drafted him. Marshawn Lattimore, the Saints drafted him. Ryan Ramczyk, the Saints drafted him. Like, come on, man. Like Cam Jordan, the Saints drafted him. You rarely ever see teams go out here spending a whole bunch of money winning Super Bowls. Have not seen it. You might see the Patriots. They might go out there and splurge on somebody like a Darrelle Revis or, you know, a Brandon Browner before he came to the New Orleans Saints and forgot how to play football. But for the most part, they draft those guys. And, you know, they coach them up. And that's how they win Super Bowls. Think about this. Okay? I can just go ahead right off the top of my head. Just look at the teams over the past 15 to 20 years who won Super Bowls, and I can just look at the players that they actually had, and it'll tell me everything that I need to know about it. Okay? Honestly, for the exception of the Saints, believe it or not, all the other teams have used, you know, some of the players that they drafted in order to catapult them to success. Let's look at the Seattle Seahawks, right? Russell Wilson, Seattle drafted him. Richard Sherman, they drafted him. Cam Chancellor, they drafted him. Earl Thomas, they drafted him. I mean, you had, and like I said, it's a combination of maybe one or two free agents. You had Marshawn Lynch, who came over from Buffalo, right? So it's always like guys building through the draft and taking the money that they would be spending on some of these high-profile guys, and they have enough money now because you have guys on rookie deals. Now you can go out there, coach your team up, and bring in maybe one piece that could be a leader or a guy that can be a difference maker. But if you out here like just, man, take my money, hear my wallet, take my money. Look, sign him, bring him on in. I don't think you're going to win nothing like that. I don't. I think you win. I think you win by building through the draft. Call me old-fashioned, but I just feel like that's the way that you win games. Shiraz says, nice show, bro. I'm subscribed on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and iHeart. Keep doing your thing. Blessings. I appreciate it, man. And I'm encouraging everybody, please, if you have not already, please subscribe to the audio podcast. iTunes, Spotify, iHeart. Please subscribe. I'm really trying to push the audio podcast, man, because there's so many people out there they can't watch the videos, okay, and they listen to it. So I'm really trying to push this. Please subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. You know, we're improving when it comes to like some of the subscriptions to the podcast audio form. But man, I can use all of your help. So I'm asking, man, take the time out. Just take a few minutes. You know, if you're on Spotify, like type in the State of the Saints. If you're on iHeart, like if you want to see these interviews, if you want to see this kind of stuff continue, man, like that's probably, you know what I'm saying, that's the route to go. Because, you know, at the start of the season, I am going to start doing interviews, but they're going to be exclusively on podcasts. So, I mean, on audio podcasts. So that's the way you're going to catch them. So, you know, I'm asking everybody to please subscribe. Help us get those numbers up. I feel like PBS right now, but I'm really trying to push the audio podcast, man, for real. Like, if you love the State of Saints podcast, if you love the content, I don't ask anybody, you know, for donations or anything like that. If you give to the State of Saints podcast, I appreciate it. The only thing I'm asking from you is to please, pretty please, subscribe to one of the streaming apps that you're a part of. Type in the State of the Saints podcast and just hit that subscription button. That's all I'm asking, or the follow button. I'm gonna take about two more questions, and then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, folks. It's been a long day, man. I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning. So Donovan says, done deal. Will subscribe. I appreciate that. Donovan. Thank you so much. Jamarcus says, how you feel about us signing defensive end TJ Carter, defensive end Anthony Lanier, and linebacker Winston McManus? I think those are guys that camp bodies, okay? Shouts out to Anthony Lanier because, I mean, he a fellow, SWAC representative like myself. He went to Alabama A&M. I mean, we all make mistakes in life, but I still like the fact that he went to the SWAC. He from the SWAC, and hopefully he makes the team, man, rather it be on special teams or some other capacity. So appreciate it. Appreciate the question, though, Jamarcus. Julius says, AK can ask for too much. He hasn't produced nothing. He hasn't produced nothing? He hasn't produced nothing? Man, he hasn't produced nothing? This man was offensive rookie of the year his first season. His second season, he ran for double-digit touchdowns. His third season, he tore his MCL, and he was still playing and still had more yards than some of the running backs that were starting in the league since week one. And this guy hasn't produced nothing. Julius, my man. Julius. Look, man, I get it. I get it. We don't like contract negotiations, my friend. We don't like them. We hate this time of the year. We hate when one of our favorite players turning his back on us. How dare he sit at home while the team is practicing? But to say that the man ain't did nothing. To say that the man ain't produced nothing. It's just not It's just not the right thing to say. You know, the guy has produced. Julius, he has produced. Dwayne, thank you very much for the $2.99, my friend. I appreciate that, man. Much love to you. Appreciate that donation. Josh said, bro, no offense. What does Julius mean? I don't know, man. I love Julius, though. Julius has been going hard in the paint all day in the chat. You know, like when I've been putting comments out, shouts out to him. I love the brother. But for him to say he ain't produced nothing. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. On that note, I think it's time to call it a night, folks. I think it's time to call it a night. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the State of the Saints podcast. Those that are listening to the State of the Saints podcast on audio podcast, thank you so much. And no matter if you're looking at this video in real time or you're checking it out, as it's previously been played, or thank you very much. I really do appreciate your time. Once again, I want to thank Steve Weiss of the NFL Network. He was nice enough to give us an interview. And if you didn't check out the interview, it is available, man. The interview with NFL Network reporter Steve Weiss. So he dropped some gems, man, gave us some information and dropped some gems along the way, man. Like, I love it. But please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Come on, man. Some of y'all already know where I'm going with this. The audio podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com. Thank you so much. I love you all, Who Dat Nation. And for some of you out there, say no to drugs, okay? And I'm just going to leave it at that. Till next time, all I got to say is, Who Dat?